Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Master Builder Show, brought to you today by the First National Bank of Weatherford. I am your host, Jim Gibson, president of the Gibson Home Builders, Incorporated, a registered builder in the state of Texas, a graduate master builder certified by the National Association of Home Builders. I'm a current member of the U.S. Green Building Council and current president of Parker County Builders Association. I've got a guest today. His name is David Beninati. He's president of Beninati Building Company and an incoming president of Parker County Builders Association, 2008. How are you today, David? I'm
doing great, and thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
This show is designed to educate and answer any questions of the listeners or residential design, construction, anything dealing with remodeling, repairing, or building a home in the state of Texas. We'll try to get any answers that you have, please. So please call us on 877-341-8950. That's 877-341-8950. What we're going to start the show today with is to give you some hints on how to pick a builder and what you should look for in a builder. David, do you know the first thing
I think the most important thing when you go out and you start looking for potential builders to build your home is make sure that builder is registered with the TRCC, and what that means, he'll be registered and should have a builder's number, and you can go to their website and find out if that builder's registered and what their number is.
Yeah, the website that you can go to is texasrcc.org. That's texasrcc.org. It'll tell you if they're registered and also tell you if they've got any complaints registered behind them. Even people that are remodeling, it used to be that if they remodeled and the price was around $20,000, they had to register the project that they were doing. But as of September 1st, 2007, it is now $10,000. So every remodeler has to be registered and registered project. So if y'all have any questions, please call us on 877-341-8950. That's 377-341-8950. David?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that was interesting about being a registered builder, looking on the website, and is that through the TRCC, builders need to be registered since 2004, and it's amazing to me that that would be one of the first requirements that I would look for in a builder, because there's actually builders out there that are not yet registered, and part of the reason for that is because a lot of people build out of the county and can get away with it, but actually that's against the TRCC law, if you would. So it's just amazing to me that there's still people out there like that. So you have to really be careful with that.
Well, the fines have increased, and they're getting to where they can enforce them. Fines have gone up to $1,000 a day per violation, and the new House Bill 1038 concerning residential construction went into effect September 1st, 2007. Like I said, every remodeler has to be registered along with a builder if he's doing any project that he's charging $10,000 or more for. And I don't know of any remodeling job like in a kitchen or something like that you can do for $10,000.
It would be pretty tough.
Well, you can spend that much on the cabinets. You can also go to or call the Greater Fort Worth Builders Association at 817-457-2864 and get a list of builders in the area. They're the kind of the mothership of Parker County Builders Association and cover counties such as Parker, Hood, Summerville, Palapinto, Johnson, Tarrant, and Wise counties. The number again is 817-457-2864. You have any other thing to cover on that, David?
Not necessarily on the TRCC, but I sure have some things you want to look for when trying to select a builder.
Okay. Keep on going.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the other things, I think one of the second most important things is whenever you're selecting a builder out there, you want to definitely check the references, and really, I think it's better to try to get narrow it down to maybe 3 potential builders, and then once you do that, then go out there and ask them, who they built for, and get those that contact information, so you can go out there and interview that former client and see what kind of a builder they are, and that right there is a good start to trying to select yourself a builder.
Yeah, I think you ought to get at least 3 references on each builder, because just because they're registered does not mean that they're a good builder.
That's right. And once you do that, if you will ask those candidates if they have some jobs going, and try to walk through their houses, especially at various phases. If you can, it's really important if you can catch it at the foundation where you can see what that builder does with their foundation. And
before it's poured.
That's right. And that's very important. That's a good stage to walk through. And of course, the framing stage obviously is another really good one. And, especially if you can see, the framing with all the electrical and plumbing, heating and air, and see, how those subcontractors are doing the work for that builder. And then of course the finished product, you want to see what that house finishes out and go through there. So those are 3 good stages to go through when selecting a builder.
Yeah, because once it's complete, nobody knows what's behind the walls.
That's right.
It's hard to tear it out and look and see how much insulation's there, and that's one of the biggies. So, walking through at several stages is always a good idea. Mm-hmm. Got any more?
And I'll tell you something. Once you select your builder and you get the references and they all check out and you walk through the project, various projects in different phases, and you think you found that builder, understand that builders are human too, and there's a lot of things that can still affect the outcome of the project. And really, one thing that you want to look for in a builder is how does that builder work through potential situations with you. I can tell you from experience that just because you may have you're a great builder and you have a good program, a lot of policies and procedures and good people working for you, doesn't always mean that there's not going to be, potential problems come up. And one thing when dealing with a builder or talking to the builder is how does he work through that? That's very important that he's able to do that in a professional way to help with those potential issues and put the client at ease.
Yeah, when you're getting your references, you want to make sure that they're asked if the builder they were completely satisfied with the builder, and if his work was performed and completed the work to their satisfaction, and make sure he pays all the bills. I've heard of some of them that don't pay their subs, and that's a no-no.
Well, you hear that, you hear that all the time for whatever reasons. Some builders don't pay the bills, and that is definitely important. You want to research that and find out. And a lot of times when that happens, the builder gets a reputation fairly quickly. You can tell who they are. So, but very important. Right.
Like I said, you can go online to www.texasrcc.org, www.texasrcc.org, and get a list of the builders, and every builder should have a registration number, and his projects should be registered also on the state of Texas.
That's right. Let me ask you this, Jim, with the TRCC and some of the things that they're doing today, they're really there to protect the homeowner from situations of misappropriation of funds or bad workmanship and things like that. And the builder is actually going to be posted, if I understand that correctly, on the website.
Right. He'll be posted with any they call them SERPs, and they will have a list of anything that's been filed against him, and it has to be reconciled. And he should. So hopefully he gets all that cleared out. He has a chance to do so. If he does not, then he loses his registration.
Well, since you'd be going to the TRCC website to see if that builder is registered, I would also check the list and see if he's on there, and I can say for certain if he is, you probably don't want to pick that guy.
Well, you can't really say that, David. He may have just done something and hacked the customer off, and he's gone down and filed that complaint. So you need to make sure that it's a legitimate complaint, and then that's what TRCC is there for, is to check out those complaints and get them resolved. And that's part of their duties.
So making that list doesn't guarantee that there's a problem. It just means that there's a complaint, and the complaint still needs to be arbitrated. Is that correct?
Yes. We've got to take a break right at this time. We'll be back. This is Master Builder Show. Today's sponsor is First National Bank of Weatherford. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, 2401 Zion Hill Road, Weatherford, Texas, 682-429-2116. We specialize in homes to suit each and every individual that expects special attention. We help design, finance, and close on every home we build. We use green building techniques in all our homes. Contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. That's Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Gibson Home Builders Incorporated, Weatherford, 682-429-2116.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Do you know your retirement readiness score or how much money you need to save to retire comfortably? You could pay a financial planner $1,000 or more to find out if you'll be ready for retirement. Or, right now, you can get a personalized analysis of your retirement readiness at yourcircleofwealth.com. The Circle of Wealth Retirement Calculator will give you two very important numbers. First, it calculates the savings you'll need to retire comfortably. Second, it analyzes whether your current financial plan will be successful in reaching your savings goal and delivers your personal retirement readiness score. You can get your personal retirement analysis today and be ready for a great future. As a bonus, you can download a life-changing report with 25 pages of outstanding financial strategies to help reach your retirement goals. You can go to yourcircleofwealth.com, enter the passcode Gibson, yourcircleofwealth.com, passcode Gibson, Gibson.
Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, Weatherford, 817-341-0188. Cronin carries a large selection of masonry supplies, including decorative concrete, overlays, cinder blocks, acid concrete stains by Chemico, and outdoor fireplaces. With over 40 years' experience, if they don't have it, they will find it for you. Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, 817-341-0188. Alamo Appliance, 100 South Riverside Drive, Fort Worth, Texas, 817-531-2701. A member of Certified Master Builder Corporation, Greater Fort Worth Builders Association, Parker County Builders Association, Associate of the Year in 1994 and 1996, dedicated to excellence in wholesale kitchen appliances for over 35 years. Alamo Appliance, 817-531-2701. Welcome back to the Master Builder Show, sponsored today by the First National Bank of Weatherford. Our second talk today is going to be about green building and what you need to do, or what green buildings consist of. David, what is your opinion of green building?
Well, it doesn't mean that the building's going to be green. It just means it's going to be more energy efficient.
Yeah, there's all sorts of shades of green now. When it first started out, they were pushing the Energy Star program, which is an excellent program, but they've kind of got it to where you can do things in your existing home, such as changing out light bulbs. Next time a light burns out, change it from an incandescent bulb to a compact fluorescent. And on your thermostats, and if your thermostat goes bad, replace it with a programmable one. And program it to your comfort, and cut her down when you're not using her on vacation.
That's right. We have those in our house, and I'll tell you what, it's real nice. We program that thermostat during the day. Our house is at 80, and then an hour before I get home from work, the house already cooled off to about 72, which is the way I like it. Of course, my wife complains a little bit about that, but that's really comfortable for me.
Yeah. The next thing you can do is just make sure that you plug all your air leaks around every window, and have your heating and cooling system checked out. You'd be surprised. Most of these older homes and stuff have leaks in their duct systems, and if they do, they can suck in debris and stuff and blow it down in the house. So,
yeah, and I tell you, still all those air penetrations, that's probably the biggest problem that a lot of these older houses have, and there's ways to go back in there, call a reputable insulation company that can come in and help you button that thing up a little bit tighter, add some insulation, especially in the wall cavities and the attic. So,
yeah, just make sure that you get it all sealed up, and like I said, it's really a hazard, a health hazard. Also increase the ventilation up in your attic. Most of the attics are not conditioned space now, so make sure you've got adequate ventilation. You've got to have entrance and exhaust vents, and it should be equal to 1 foot for every 300 square foot of attic air conditioned space, or attic space, not air conditioned space, but attic space. So that means if you've got 900 square foot house, you should have 3 cubic feet, and that's not that you divide it by 2, and it's 1.5 cubic foot entrance, and then 1.5 foot exhaust on every house. And you'd be surprised how many houses now don't have soffit vents or don't have any ridge vents.
Well, you can tell them real quick when you go in the attic and you just immediately start sweating. But I tell you, if you're into remodeling your existing home, you could do things like on the roof is add your raised ridge vent and your perforated soffit, and that's a real good system to help as the heat rises and goes out that raised ridge vent, it kind of draws in the cooler air, the perforated soffit. That gives you good airflow up there and will certainly help cool that attic off.
Oh, yeah, because those attics get up to 140, 150 degrees in the summer, and you can imagine most of your older ducts are R6, and you've got 140-degree temperature around them, and you're trying to cool the air down to 70 or so. It makes that air conditioning system overtime.
Oh, it works it. And, in the new homes, what we do nowadays, we put radiant barriers up there. There's a lot of things that we can do there with foam insulation and whatnot. But they have a product that's out there. I believe that you can actually buy at the paint store. It's an aluminum paint that you spray on the backside of your decking on your roof, and actually works the same way as a radiant barrier might work, and helps reflect some of those UV rays out, keeping that attic cooler as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that you did it yourself. I would recommend that you.
Oh, no way! Yeah, there's people out there.
A reputable installer to install that stuff, because you don't want to breathe it at all. They've got 2 or 3 different methods. They've got foil backing that you staple up over your rafters, and they've got the spray on. I like the spray on itself, and it seems to work very well.
Well, some people, Jim, don't have the choice to hire somebody out. If you're married to my wife, she's going to figure out a way for you to get up there and spray that in the attic.
Right. And also, you can as your appliances start going out and you need to replace them, you need to make sure that you look for an Energy Star approved brand appliance. Those save you a great deal of money. Plants trees and shrubs around your house to provide shade and wind protection. Let's talk about saving some water. You got any water saving devices, David?
Not really, other than we just don't use it as much. But one thing that I do like to do at our house is with the irrigation system, and a lot of people will water every day. What we like to do is water the front yard one day, the backyard the next, and we kind of conserve water that way at our home.
Callers, we're going to have give away 2 gift certificates today. They're going to be, what are they, David?
These are Mesquite Pit gift certificate, and we have 2 of them here worth $50. So I think we're going to have a trivia question.
Yeah, we'll have a trivia question here later on. We're thinking about it. I think we're going to ask what the standard width of a 2x4 or something like that. 2x4 stud, dimensional lumber now, not just regular any board, but it's going to have to be a 2x4 stud, dimensional lumber. What is the width? And whoever gets that answer, we've got 2 of these to give away today. Okay, let's talk about the reducing water consumption again. One of the things that you can do in your existing house, if you don't have aerators in your faucets, go ahead and change those out and put those aerators in there. Change to a low flow shower heads. Around your yard, you're talking about your irrigation systems and all that stuff. You can incorporate native plants and grasses that require less water. Is right. One of the good things. If you've got plants that don't need water, you don't have to water them, of course.
That's right. The Southwest style landscaping package with some cactus and antique roses. That's what we did in our first house, and you never have to water them, but they'll take over if you don't watch them.
Well, if you water those too much, they die. You also change out your old toilets to high efficiency, lower gallons per flush type, dual flush toilets, where you've got 1 flush for one type and 1 flush for the other, and those are working out real well. Replace your old worn out water heaters with tankless or solar type. Now, the solar type are rather expensive. And so are the tankless, but they seem to work very well.
Well, the Rinnai tankless gas water heaters are just amazing what they can do, and I mean it's just on-demand, continuous hot water. In fact, you put one of those in your house, and I don't know why you want to do this because we're talking about conserving water, but if you left your hot water running and you went on vacation for a week and came back, that water would be just as hot as when you left it.
It wouldn't be conserving any energy.
That's right.
Yeah, you can also install hot water recirculation pumps. If you got a regular standard water heater, go ahead and at your distant bathroom, go ahead and put in a recirculating pump, and they usually burn about as much power as a clock.
That's right.
They're not real powerful pumps. They just kind of sit there and slowly recirculate the water, and they don't do it. You can hook them to light switches or a button or motion sensors. And that way, when you turn the water on, you're not wasting any water, and it puts it right back in the system, and it works out real well.
Well, something that we also have done in the past is putting a timer on the hot water heaters in that same way as a Oh, we have a caller?
Yes.
Yes, this is Jim Gibson. Can I help you?
Oh, answer the question.
Oh, we're going to answer the question. All right. What's the correct answer of width of a standard stud 2x4?
1.5 by 3.5.
1.5 by 3.5.
Yeah.
David, do you agree with that?
I think so.
Is that an 8-foot stud, 92 5/8?
What are you, a carpenter?
Oh, yeah, this is Ken Dennis.
Oh my gosh. What do you say, Ken? Let's go split this Mesquite Pit $50 gift certificate and I'll go eat with you.
All right. Let's get that going and build a pool.
All right. Do you want to get his information there, Ace? Or we'll take his information over the phone? Just go ahead and come by the station, Ken. You know where it is.
Okay, thank y'all.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You bet. All right. The next we're going to talk about using sustainable materials made from natural resources and something that we can grow real quick. We're going to have a break real quick, and we'll be back right after the break. This is the Master Builder Show. Today's sponsor is the First National Bank of Weatherford. Gibson Home Builders, Incorporated, 2401 Zion Hill Road, Weatherford, Texas, 682-429-2116. We specialize in homes to suit each and every individual that expects special attention. We help design, finance, and close on every home we build. We use green building techniques in all of our homes. Contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. That's Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Gibson Home Builders, Incorporated, Weatherford, 682-429-2116.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Do you know your retirement readiness score or how much money you need to save to retire comfortably? You could pay a financial planner $1,000 or more to find out if you'll be ready for retirement. Or, right now, you can get a personalized analysis of your retirement readiness at yourcircleofwealth.com. The Circle of Wealth Retirement Calculator will give you two very important numbers. First, it calculates the savings you'll need to retire comfortably. Second, it analyzes whether your current financial plan will be successful in reaching your savings goal and delivers your personal retirement readiness score. You can get your personal retirement analysis today and be ready for a great future. As a bonus, you can download a life-changing report with 25 pages of outstanding financial strategies to help reach your retirement goals. You can go to yourcircleofwealth.com, enter the passcode Gibson, yourcircleofwealth.com, passcode Gibson, Gibson.
Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, Weatherford, 817-341-0188. Cronin carries a large selection of masonry supplies, including decorative concrete, overlays, cinder blocks, acid concrete stains by Chemico, and outdoor fireplaces. With over 40 years' experience, if they don't have it, they will find it for you. Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, 817-341-0188.
The Bank of Weatherford. Local folks you know and trust. We are proud of our community and our customers. Whether you need a checking account, personal or business loan, auto loan, interim construction loan, or mortgage loan, we can help. You may visit us at 901 Santa Fe Drive in Weatherford, or you may give us a call at 817-596-9998. You may also visit us on the web at www.thebankofweatherford.com. The Bank of Weatherford, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show, brought to you by the First National Bank of Weatherford. When we left the show, we were talking about using sustainable natural resources whenever possible to do our construction. We're talking about replacing or adding new flooring. Think about products such as bamboo or cork or eucalyptus. The reason you use those is the products are real durable, they're nice looking, and they grow at an accelerated rate.
Not only that, but like you said, they're nice looking and becoming very popular. You hear a lot of people talking about bamboo and cork now, where you used to not hear that. And one reason is just like you're saying, it's just a beautiful floor to look at.
Right, and they've got the bamboo now where it's up to 2,500 psi. I mean, it's some tough stuff. You can also use wood alternatives, such as fiber cement, like Hardy product. They've also got wood composites made with recycled wood, which was good also.
Well, I'll tell you, the fiber cement board is an absolute must, especially when building a new home. Not only is it durable, it can never rot out, which is something I like. Termites don't like to eat cement.
It doesn't burn.
And another good thing about it is it holds paint a whole lot longer than masonite or wood products. So that's another positive for using the fiber cement board.
Right. A lot of these lumber companies, they grow their own lumber, and they're monitored by the Forest Stewardship Council, and they should be stamped with FSC, or Forest Stewardship Council certified products. And these products are forests that they cut, they plant, and they grow 20 years or so, and then they cut them again. So that's one of the better things to do if you're using standard lumber.
Right.
We can also talk about reducing waste. Material waste on every job when you're building is we're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 just to clean up, and all this stuff goes into the dump.
That's right. It's amazing when you build a house how much cut off and waste that you have, and once you cut a board or stick a nail in it, you can't return that board to the lumber company. So what winds up happening is it gets trashed.
Right, and they've got companies now that will actually pick up this material and recycle it, and the thing is that you've got to be conscious of that and hire the company, and you've got to have a separate bin for each type of material. You've got one bin for the wood, one bin for the metal, one for sheetrock, and so on, and you will have some debris to throw away, but they can recycle most of this. Just getting your crews trained to clean it up, because if they're contaminated at all, they won't pick it up. But
well, that's a great way to conserve our resources.
Oh yeah. The less waste we have, the better we are. And also, when you're designing your home, design it for less waste. You know what size materials come in. Tile comes in 12 by 12, 18 by 18, and so on. And so, design your room sizes to fit dimensional lumber, and that way you don't have a lot of waste. If you're building, you don't build in odd sizes, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's right. That's another great way of saving our resources, just going with some of the standard sizes that they offer out there. Like you're saying, the tile 12 by 12, carpet comes in rolls of 12 foot, 12 by 12 bedrooms are a great size, and that way you can get away with no waste, pretty much.
Right, no seams either.
No seams, that's right.
But room sizes, room height, and everything else that you can think of, just make sure it's a standard size. Let's talk about the indoor environment, the living environment. The main thing that you want to do is control your environment indoors, and the best way to do that is make sure you've got a tight house and a good air conditioning system or heating system that you can control anything that comes in, any contaminants. And the way you do that is, like I said, make sure it's sealed up.
Well, one of the great things about sealing up your home, there's a product out there, urethane foam, and I'm sure a lot of people at home there have heard of this, but what that does for you, especially in new construction, you can certainly retrofit this for remodels if you're tearing the walls out, the sheetrock, and the old insulation. But what the urethane foam will give you is you can spray that in the walls, and typically what you do is spray about 2 inches in those walls, and each inch will give you a 7 R value rating. But the thing that you're really getting with the urethane foam is it seals all the air penetrations, and that is what's important, is sealing every one of those air penetrations, because you lose so much air. In fact, I went not too long ago, I went to a place that was talking about the insulation and how important it was, and one of the comments they made there was, if a 5 mile an hour wind hit the side of your house with conventional insulation, you basically lose half of the R value because of air penetration. So that's one thing that urethane foam will give you. Yeah,
it's good. The problem is a lot of people can't afford it, and they've got other methods out there that are less expensive. They're not quite as good.
That's right.
They don't have the R value that the urethane foam does. But,
well, if you the thing about the urethane foam, it is more expensive on the front end, but 2.5, 3 years, that stuff pays for itself. And so your money ahead, the longer you stay in your home.
The problem we've had here lately with people that want to do the foam and stuff on new construction is the appraisals coming back on the existing homes that don't warrant them getting the money.
That's right.
And because people right now, someday they'll turn around as far as green building. they really don't care what's behind the walls. They care what kind of carpet you use, what kind of cabinets you have, countertops. But the most important thing is insulation and your air conditioning system, how you ventilate it, whether you got radiant barriers or not. And going back to the radiant barriers, there's some important non-energy considerations before you put radiant barriers up there. Have you ever thought about that, David? Or?
No, what do you got, Jim?
Well, condensation moisture is the biggest problem with radiant barriers. If they're installed incorrectly, you want to make sure that your attic is ventilated properly. And that's when you're ventilating the attic, it's not too cool the attic. It's actually to control moisture in that attic. Mm-hmm. So that's the most important thing is have it properly ventilated before you put that radiant barrier up there. Because during cold weather, a radiant barrier, if they put the type down, it's got the foil on the top, it'll collect moisture up there and just saturate the insulation, which makes it null and void anyway.
It just seems, standard now in the industry. If when you put a radiant barrier in, a lot of times you are using those hardy products, and one being that perforated soffit and that raised ridge vent, and that is just those three things combined are just a great system to help control the moisture and help control the temperature of the attic.
You know what your relative humidity in your house is supposed to be?
Oh gosh.
They got studies down now that show that bacteria grows when the humidity level is down around 20%, 25%, somewhere around there, and it grows again when you get above 50%, and it starts growing real rapidly up around 80, 90%. So actually, inside your house, you want to keep your humidity about 45. It's anywhere from 35 to 50 is what they're saying, or 55 is good. But ideal would be between 40 and 40. Well, actually 45. You've got allergies and asthma are affected, or asthmatics, I guess, are affected when it's down low range and in the high range also. And dust mites, when it gets up in the higher ranges, if your humidity is up around 70, 80%, dust mites seem for it gives them a drink of water is what it does.
That's right. And some of the things that can help, you hit on it a while ago, some of the HVAC, there's so many things that are out there now that can help with this. And one thing is doing like the Clean Effects air filtration system.
Right.
That you can have that installed on, I'm sure for a minimal fee from your HVAC subcontractor, but that sure would help with mites and allergies and bacteria and things of that nature. Well,
one of the main things too is to have your right-sized air conditioning and heating system. If you've got one that doesn't run at all, and you think you need a 3-ton, and you go in and say, give me a 6-ton. Well, it'll cool it down instantaneously. But the problem is it doesn't run long enough to dehumidify the house and pull the water out of the house. So you want it exactly sized for the house.
Well, and I would ask for a load sheet. Your HVAC subcontractor should be able to do that for you, and that's a combination of the glazing on your house, which way it faces, the size of your house, those things that he can program into a program, and actually it'll spit out a load sheet just customized just for your home.
Yeah, it's a heat load. It's figured out through the J manual, I believe is the way most of them do. But that's one of the main things, keep moisture down to a minimum. Mm-hmm. Now, the radiant barriers come in all different types, like we talked about earlier. The main thing they do is reflect the radiant heat back into the atmosphere, or back where it came from, and essentially keeping the attic cooler. And it's been known to keep the attic 30 to 40 degrees cooler.
That's
if
right.
Installed correctly. But I'd use there's Tech Shield. There's all sorts of brands out there you can use, but it's on new construction.
That's right.
But in the older type houses, you're going to have to resort to the foil backing or the spray-in type aluminum.
The more labor-intensive.
And actually it probably costs more, too. Now, when you've got all that down, we can go into insulation. What type of insulation? We talked about foam insulation. There's batting. There's blown-in cellulose. There's just about every kind of insulation out there.
Just for the people at home, the industry standard seems to be bad insulation in the walls, which is an R13, and then you would blow the fiberglass in the attic, which recently the city code went from an R30 to an R38. Of course, the more insulation you can put in the attic, the better. And then, of course, when we talk about some different ones like the urethane foam, you get a lot better R value in your attic. But that seems to be the industry standard right now. And then, of course, you have the foam insulation.
Right. Yeah, the Department of Energy right now is calling for an R49 in the attic and R13 in the walls. Now that's for R value for wood framed houses. And now in cathedral ceilings, they've got it at an R38. Like I said, in your attic itself, it's an R49, wall cavity R13, and that's putting in the insulation itself.
That's right. And in the wall cavity, they actually make an R15 that will go in a 2x4 wall cavity that you can upgrade to. And then, of course, getting back to foam insulation, because I sure like that stuff. Actually, I have that in my house, and it's made just a world of difference with the energy bill. But with that, you put the 2 inches in your wall, and you put the 1 inch on your ceiling on top of the sheetrock before you blow your fiberglass insulation there, and then you get your R49. But again, you seal up all those air penetrations. Essentially, what that does is turn your house into a cooler.
Yeah, an ice chest. Well, what it does too is when you spray that in the attic, it cuts down on all your dust and everything coming down through because they put up a sheetrock ceiling and then they cut holes in it, and so everything comes down through your recessed lighting. That's a big thing now, and every time you cut a hole, you're going to have a possibility of dust or contaminants coming down through those holes.
That's right, and that stuff. I don't know if you ever felt this, how rigid it is. My insulator tells me that you can actually put an inch of that stuff in your attic and be able to walk across the sheetrock. Now, I would not recommend that. I certainly won't do it because I'm only, just a hair under 300 pounds now. So I certainly wouldn't do it, but that's what they say.
Well, they say if you spray 2 inches in your outside wall, you're increasing the racking strength 200 times. Now, it's on rigid foam.
That's right, rigid.
That's closed cell rigid foam, which is a polyurethane. Now, if you go I've used both closed cell and open cell, and they're both good insulating factors, and they're both, the actual insulation on a rigid foam is an R7 per inch, and I believe on the open cell foam it's about an R3 per inch, so you get more insulating factor, plus you get rigid strength out of the rigid foam, but the problem is it costs more too.
Well, and it does, but like I said, it'll, within 2.5, 3 years, it'll pay for itself. But, if you're going to use that urethane foam, you want to make sure that you have all your wires and plumbing and anything that goes in those walls, you want that in place because you're not going to put it in later.
No, there's no way to get down through it. I mean, without tearing out sheetrock and just cutting it out, and it's pretty tough stuff.
You bet.
They say if you spray 2 inches in the attic, like you were talking about, if you go, we normally do 1 inch and blow R49 on top of that, but a 250-pound man can run up and down on it like it's all floored in.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you try it or not, but we've also got another gift certificate giveaway. We've got to go on a break real quick. This is the Master Builder Show, brought to you today by First National Bank of Weatherford.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Do you know your retirement readiness score or how much money you need to save to retire comfortably? You could pay a financial planner $1,000 or more to find out if you'll be ready for retirement. Or, right now, you can get a personalized analysis of your retirement readiness at yourcircleofwealth.com. The Circle of Wealth Retirement Calculator will give you two very important numbers. First, it calculates the savings you'll need to retire comfortably. Second, it analyzes whether your current financial plan will be successful in reaching your savings goal and delivers your personal retirement readiness score. You can get your personal retirement analysis today and be ready for a great future. As a bonus, you can download a life-changing report with 25 pages of outstanding financial strategies to help reach your retirement goals. You can go to yourcircleofwealth.com, enter the passcode Gibson. Yourcircleofwealth.com, passcode Gibson, GIBSON.
Alamo Electrical Contracting Services, 9500 Camp Bowie West, Fort Worth, Texas, 817-249-4964. Offering residential and commercial electrical services in Parker, Palo Pinto, Wise, Hood, Johnson, Erath, and Tarrant counties. That's Alamo Electrical Contracting Services, 9500 Camp Bowie West, Fort Worth, Texas, 817-249-4964.
The Red Raiders are back at home again and back in conference play on Saturday. This is Brian Jensen, voice of Red Raider football. Iowa State saw the coming out party of Graham Harrell last year in a 42-26 blowout by Tech. How will the Red Raiders spin the Cyclones at home this time around? Join us Saturday.
It's Texas Tech taking on Iowa State coming up Saturday at 6 o'clock here on KYQX 89.5. Texas Tech football brought to you by Cox Springer Financial, Roger Phillips Attorney, Hooks Lincoln Mercury, and Plains Capital Bank. It's the Red Raiders and the Cyclones. Saturday, 6 o'clock here on KYQX 89.5.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. Today's sponsor is First National Bank of Weatherford. When we left you last, we were talking about insulation. We've also got another gift certificate giveaway. We haven't figured out a question yet. David, you got any questions that you might ask a listener for trivia?
Let's see here. What can we ask? How about what is the thickness of the sheetrock that goes on all the ceilings of a custom home? Is that fair? Is that easy enough?
16-inch centers or 24-inch center studs?
Hopefully 16-inch.
There you go. Well, anyway, you can call us on 877-341-8950. That's 877-341-8950. Now, back to insulation. Everything that we use on our house has some type of insulating factor, but according to, I guess, the codes, they don't consider those when they're considering overall insulating factor, like wall, for example, fiberglass bats. We know about all those, but like for 2x4, asphalt shingles, wood shingles, all of them contain some type of insulating or R value. Take wood shingles, for instance, 0.97 is R 0.97. Not very much, but it all adds up. And the better materials you can use to help you insulate, the better you are.
And there's a lot of good materials out there that you can choose from, and I would just ask the supplier, what the R value is. That information should be readily available to tell you.
Well, yeah. The main thing is have enough insulation. The more insulation, that's the cheapest thing you can do to lower your utility bills, is to add insulation.
Well, and I'll tell you this, since I know we talked about how expensive that the urethane foam can be, and one thing that you can do is you can play with it a little bit. You can put the bad insulation in your walls, and then still put the foam in your attic, which is going to obviously save you some cost, but you're still going to get a nice benefit from just having that, the air penetration in your attic and hot air rise and all that good stuff. You still get a nice benefit from just doing at least that much. And my insulator really recommends that if you can do anything at all, at least let's go ahead and spray the attic.
Right, yeah, that's where you're losing most of your heat.
That's right.
Our cooling is through the attic itself, also through your windows. If you can get a good window, and all your window performance are rated by the Fenestration Administration, National Fenestration Rating Council, NFRC, and they've got a label on every window. And what you want to look at is U-factor R less than 0.36 and solar heat gain less than 0.36 down here. We've got another caller coming in. This is Jim Gibson. Can I help you? Hello, caller. Hello. I guess we lost the caller. Anyway, you use different solar heat gain coefficients in different areas. Like down here, we want a low solar heat gain coefficient, like a 0.32 or whatever. But up north, you want the benefit of getting the heat in, because down here we have a problem cooling our houses. We don't really have a problem heating our houses. Do we get the caller back in, or nope? Anyway, the U factor is actually, you're measuring the heat transfer in a window, or per square foot.
How do you feel about the aluminum windows versus vinyl windows and what that benefit might be?
We got another caller coming here.
All
Let's
right.
go ahead and answer him. Hello, caller. This is Jim Gibson. May I help you?
Good morning. I'm going to try to take a guess on that sheetrock. I'm going to guess around 5'8".
About 5'8". Who's calling, please?
Bobby Bynum.
Bobby Bynum. You're correct, Bobby.
Very good.
Very good. So you got yourself a $50 gift certificate to Mesquite Pit. If you'll come by, you know where the station is?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Come on by and pick your gift certificate up.
All right. Appreciate you. Bye.
Thank you.
Anyway, the U factor, it measures how well a product prevents heat from escaping, is what you're looking. So down here, the lower the U factor, the better. And the lower the solar heat gain coefficient, the better. solar heat gain coefficient measures how well a product blocks the heat caused by sunlight. And you want to block, down here we try to block as much as we can, usually in the summer.
Well, let me ask you this. There's so many windows out there, and there's, a lot of them that get real close in their ratings. Of course, there's a huge price difference in a lot of these windows. Do you think there's difference in quality, or if the rating's the same, what are you really paying for in some of the higher dollar windows?
On a lot of the higher dollar ones, you're paying for names sometimes, brand names. What you need to do is look at your vinyl windows. They've got 5 different references or performance ratings you can use now on a window. You've got U factor, which is we were talking about your solar heat gain coefficient. Your visible transmitting, how well do you want to see out the window? That may be, if you've got a beautiful view or don't have a lot of sun blocking in, you may not want to have them tinted. The other thing that they look at is air leakage, and that's going to be where the pane goes around the mounting itself. Condensation resistance. Vinyl windows tend to not transmit heat and cold like aluminum windows do. They've got aluminum windows out there now that have heat breaks or heat blocks in them. They tend to be quite a bit more expensive.
How does all that compare, a vinyl and metal to, like, say, a wood-clad window?
Wood-clad is a good window. It doesn't, vinyl and wood-clad are probably fairly close, except you're going to pay a lot more for the wood-clad.
That's right. Well, I know we just got back from Colorado, and I walked through some of the log cabins that they were building up there, and those windows are just absolutely amazing, all wood clad, and just you can just tell how much money those people spend on those windows compared to what we do here. Well,
I've seen window packages that cost more than the framing package. We've got to go to another break. This is Jim Gibson, Master Builder Show. Today's sponsor was First National Bank of Weatherford. Thank you.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Do you know your retirement readiness score, or how much money you need to save to retire comfortably? You could pay a financial planner $1,000 or more to find out if you'll be ready for retirement. Or, right now, you can get a personalized analysis of your retirement readiness at yourcircleofwealth.com. The Circle of Wealth Retirement Calculator will give you 2 very important numbers. First, it calculates the savings you'll need to retire comfortably. Second, it analyzes whether your current financial plan will be successful in reaching your savings goal and delivers your personal retirement readiness score. You can get your personal retirement analysis today and be ready for a great future. As a bonus, you can download a life-changing report with 25 pages of outstanding financial strategies to help reach your retirement goals. You can go to yourcircleofwealth.com, enter the passcode Gibson. Yourcircleofwealth.com, passcode Gibson, Gibson.
Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, Weatherford, 817-341-0188. Cronin carries a large selection of masonry supplies, including decorative concrete, overlays, cinder blocks, acid concrete stains by Chemico, and outdoor fireplaces. With over 40 years' experience, if they don't have it, they will find it for you. Cronin Masonry Supplies, 2205 Fort Worth Highway, 817-341-0188. Henson Lumber, Crescent, Texas, 817-396-4321. www.hensonlumber.com. Henson Lumber, serving our community since 1973, both lumber and millwork products. A full-time estimator gives customers defined and accurate materials estimates. The millwork department has windows, doors, trims, and hardware. www.hensonlumber.com. Henson Lumber, Crescent, Texas, 817-396-4321. Welcome back to Master Builder Show. Today's sponsor is First National Bank of Weatherford. David, we need to talk about probably some builders associations and how to pick a builder again and what we're looking for. I know you had some other notes written down.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, I think that the Builder Association is just an absolutely wonderful association for builders and associates alike. One thing that, for the builder that I absolutely love about the Builder Association is that you're just so much more informed on governmental issues. And, of course, there's a lot going on with the TRCC now. And I was actually alarmed not too long ago when you were there. There was a meeting held at Stewart Title, and that talked about some of the new things that the TRCC, contractually and otherwise that we are going to be accountable for as September 1st of this year. And of course, there was just we know there's over 275 builders in Parker County alone. And there was just a handful of people in that room that day. Right. So there's a lot of people that don't understand what the TRC is asking for. So one thing I love about the Builder Association is we're very well informed about what's going on out there and what we have to be careful of and aware of and how we need to be compliant with what the TRC is setting out for us.
Yeah, the TRCC is going to be one of the real strong arms as far as getting builders in compliance. And that's one of the things that builders need to look at is if they are not doing or not complying by the code, the fines are getting real stiff. They've also put out some new contracts this past year that everybody needs to have and needs to be going by the same contract. And what they're stipulating on those contracts, you've got to have your builder registration number, TRCC's information, a contact number for the TRCC, and all sorts of information.
That's right. In fact, in that contract, the TRCC's information, how you contact them is in that. In fact, you have to have it in a bold print with a 10 font that has their phone number basically, so that if there is a complaint that the customer knows who to call. So it's really important that you do that. And that went into effect this year, September 1st. Something else that builders out there, and this is a great thing, that's going to happen next year after September 1st of 2008. We're going to start having inspections outside the city limits, which I think is just a huge thing, wonderful thing. But how many builders out there understand and know what's going on with that ruling? Well,
being a member of the Texas Association of Builders and National Association of Builders, Green Building Council, and all these organizations, they keep you informed on all current codes and what you should know to be a builder. And that third-party inspection is going to have to be passed on to the buyers of the houses. But it's going to be a good thing, a bad thing. The bad thing is that somebody's got to pay for it.
That's right.
The good thing is that more things will be done right and be done by code, no matter where you're building.
And that's one good thing about the TRC and what they're doing is actually giving the homeowner some leverage against a builder if there's a situation there that comes up, and they offer the arbitration and all that's in place, and of course their findings is final. So it can keep you out of a lot of lawsuits that way, both ways. So. Right,
yeah. It's good for the builder and good for the buyer.
That's right.
And you don't really need to sign, any of you people out there thinking about building homes and all this other stuff, you want to make sure you've got everything in writing. I've had some horror stories told to me by some people that have given money to contractors and never see the contractor again, and that's not a good thing. And we need to get these people out of here and bring in people that are reputable, that so they don't give the bad names to the reputable people.
That's right. Jim and I both take a lot of pride in our industry, and unfortunately, there's some people out there that are like that, and but that's what the TRCC is cracking down on. So that's why I say to go to the Builder Association to find a builder is a good thing to do. The other thing about the Builders Association, Jim, is they expose you to some higher educational classes. There's a seminar every luncheon that we have. There's some seminar, some guest speaker that's going to tell us about a certain product or a way you might want to do something, and just helps me out a whole lot to sometimes hear these vendors and speakers come in and talk about certain things.
Yeah, the more you get involved, you builders out there, you need to be involved. The more you get involved, the more you learn. And looks like we're running out of time. Our show sponsor today was the First National Bank of Weatherford. I am Jim Gibson, graduate master builder, and we'll see you next Tuesday. My guest next week will be Robbie Ballard of Triple R Mechanical.